I am going to run through my list, and it is The Dressmaker of Paris, Wild Card by Elsie Silver. Hello book friends, and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share my February reading list with you. As I'm recording this, it is Sunday the 1st of February, but it's probably going to be next weekend that I get posted. So we're probably about a week into February in real life time. I am going to run through my list, which I have on my phone here. I have a mix of physical books and books that I'm going to read on the Kindle. I have quite a good mix of genres this time. I did something a little bit different when it came to choosing my library books. I did do a video of that, and you can find it on TikTok or on Shorts. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Book number 1 is A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophia Saint-Germain. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce her name. This is book number 1 in the Compelling Fate saga. I think there are 4 or 5 books altogether. They are all available on Kindle Unlimited, which is where I will be reading it, but they are also available to buy on Amazon, so I will link those down in the description if you prefer a physical copy. So this book is about Lycia. She is a half-fae and she's currently living in the human kingdoms. She is under a blood curse from the Fae King, and he wants her to infiltrate the human elections. I am on chapter 10 and she is just about to enter into the elections, so most of the story so far has been world building, introducing the characters, things like that, but I am very much enjoying it. I think this book is going to have a lot of political intrigue. I have read that it's enemies to lovers, which of course you know I love, and I think it's slow burn romance as well, so I'm very much looking forward to reading it. It is also on my 26 books for 2026 list, so I wanted to add a few of those books to this month's list to try and make sure I stay on track for getting through all of those books this year. Yes, book number 1, A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. Book number 2 on my list is one of the books that I've taken out from the library this month, and it is The Dressmaker of Paris by Georgia Kaufman, and I have it right here. So I set up myself a TBR jar with some prompts. I do not have a very big physical TBR, so I will be using it instead to pick out my library books each month. My 2 prompts that I picked out for the month were a book with a name in the title and a book with a colour in the title. So this is my book with a place in the title, A Dressmaker of Paris. I have never read anything by Georgia Kaufman before. I've never heard of her before. I really want to use these prompts to make me pick out books that I probably never would have chosen otherwise, to try and broaden my reading horizons a little bit. So this is a literary fiction, and I've read the blurb, and it's about a character called Rosa. She has built a global fashion empire. She's preparing for a big meeting, and I think she starts to reminisce about her life and how she got to where she is. The blurb mentions Nazi occupation, heartbreak in Switzerland, glamour and love in Paris, so I think she's lived quite a full life, and this is an older woman reminiscing on how she got to where she is. So definitely not something that I would usually pick, but still quite an interesting read. Book number 3 on my list, and we are back onto the Kindle. This is a book that is available on Kindle Unlimited. Last month I started the Windy City series. I read Mile High. That was one of my January books, and so for February I want to move on with the series and read book 2, The Right Move. So Ryan Shea is at MMC, and he is the brother of Stevie, who was at FMC in Mile High, and then also in Mile High we met Indy. She is Stevie's best friend, and she is the FMC in this book. So it's a sports romance. Ryan Shea is a basketball player. It's forced proximity. They end up living together and becoming roommates. It's fake dating as well, and also grumpy sunshine. Of all the reviews I've seen of the Windy City series, Ryan Shea is a very popular character, and I do think from what I saw of him in book 1, he is going to be a character that I love as well, so I'm very much looking forward to reading The Right Move. I can't remember whether I said this, but I've included 7 books in this month's list. I had 6 on January's list, and I did finish it early, and I was also ill, so I feel like maybe I could fit 7 books into the month. That's what I'm going to aim for. So yes, there's 7 books altogether, and we are moving on to book 4, which is my second library book of the month, and my second prompt was a book with a colour in the title. There weren't I couldn't find a huge amount of options to choose from. If you go and watch the video, I think I found 3, and one of them was tangerine, which is pushing the limits of calling it a colour a bit. Of the 3 options that I found on the shelves, I went with Yellow Face. This is by Rebecca F. Kwang. She has written quite a few popular books, bestsellers, books that are talked about a lot on BookTok. I've seen many reviews for this, everyone saying it's very good. It's not a genre I would usually choose. I do like to stick to romance or fantasy, and I think this is more, again, literary fiction. It's about a failed writer who sees her rival die, and then she steals her manuscript, claims it as her own, and then this follows everything that occurs from that point. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I also think it's going to be quite stressful for me. When I read a book that's based on a lie or based on a deception, it gives me quite a lot of anxiety. That is why I avoid reading thrillers. But like I say, I do want to use the library prompt TBR jar as a way to try different books that normally I would just not pick up or would avoid. So yeah, Yellow Face is book number 4. So I am a book hoarder. I will buy books that I really want to read, and then I will just keep them on my shelf unread because I don't want to have read them and to have finished them. And one of those books that I purchased because I was very excited about reading, and I have just been hoarding it, Wild Card by Elsie Silver. It's the final book in the Rose Hill series. I loved the rest of the Rose Hill series, and I thought this was the perfect month to add this in because with the 2 literary fiction books that aren't my normal genre, I thought something that I know I am going to love, is going to be fun, is going to be light-hearted, is a perfect addition. So this is Ex-Boyfriend's Dad, the trope. The Rose Hill series follows a group of men who are all single dads in some form, shape or other. They have a bowling group, and each story in the series follows one of these members of the bowling group. This is Seb's turn. From what I've read on the back, I think they end up living together, so it's forced proximity and also, of course, forbidden love. You're not supposed to get with your ex-boyfriend's dad, are you? But I think this is going to be brilliant, and I'm very much looking forward to reading it. I signed up to Kindle Unlimited at the beginning of the year, and I got 3 months for 99p, so I'm wanting to make the most of it and get as many books read for my 99p as I possibly can. So this is another book from Kindle Unlimited, and it's also another book from my 26 books from 2026. I think I've included, I think it's 2 or 3, but let me check. Yeah, so I've included 2 books this month from my 26 from 2026. I obviously need to read 2 or 3 each month to spread them out throughout the year. This is one of them. I did look up the blurb and what the book was about when I was filming my 26 for 2026, but I can't remember. I've forgotten again. I'll have to have another look. So it says, a young woman named Bryn who uncovers a world of denied magic, betrayal and political intrigue after a fateful encounter with a soldier. The tropes include enemies to lovers, forced proximity, fated mates, bonding, slow burn, elemental magic, world building. It definitely sounds like my kind of thing, and I have seen very good reviews, so that's why I added it to 26 for 2026, and I'm looking forward to trying it and reading it this month. It's book 1 in a series, I think. Anyway, yes, I am looking forward to reading that one. And then my final book on my February reading list is Lights Out by Navessa Allen. So I have never really read a dark romance. I think I have read a book that would be classed as a dark fantasy romance. I don't know if it was my favourite thing that I've ever read, but I wanted to give a dark romance a try just so I can say for sure, yes, dark romance is for me. No, it's not. Lights Out is obviously one of the most popular spoken about dark romance books there are. It is currently on Kindle Unlimited, so I thought, why not give it a try? I already had a lot of heavy reads with the literary fiction and the fantasy books, so I thought, why not give this a go? So those are my 7 books for my February reading list. We will see how we get on. I think I will have plenty of time to finish them. Of course, I'll share individual videos on all of the books as I read them on Shorts and TikTok. I'm also about to film my January wrap up. I read 6 books in January, so I'm gonna talk through all of those, what I rated them, if I recommend them. But as always, I would love to know if you've already read any of these, if any of these are also on your own TBR lists, Also let me know what you are planning to read this month, because I love to talk about books. I will accept any excuse to do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. I am a very new content creator here on YouTube talking about books, so I would absolutely love to grow this channel, and every like, subscribe and comment really helps me with that, so thank you very much. I will be back with a new video very soon. Bye.